Welcome to this webinar, which is about accountancy and financial studies for services pathway. So I would just do a quick technical checks. If you can see us okay, please raise your hands. If you can hear us okay, please raise your hand again. Thank you. Okay, so now, okay, this just to explain that we have disabled our chat box for this session. You can feel free, our question and answer section is open, so you can feel free to ask any question which you want to ask us, and our panelists will answer those questions and ask at any time. Or if you want to talk, then you can ask anything in the chat question and answer section. Okay, so I will now hand over to our lead of this session, who's Nessa. He's a teacher at our college. So Nessa, over to you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's safe and well. Welcome to Newbic in terms of exciting career pathway in accountancy and financial services. In terms of why study at Newbic, well, basically, compared to school, college is a whole new experience. We've got a lot of range of courses in terms of maths, sciences, businesses, health and social care, and so forth. In terms of teachers, expert teachers who've been there a long time. They also have industrial background for the subject they're teaching, as well as a wide range of enrichment activities that we provide. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so in terms of entry requirements, in terms of A-levels for accountancy and financial services career pathway, we're looking at 5 GCSEs, grades 9 to 5. So that's a sort of minimum requirements for that, for the courses. Now it depends on what subject you're studying, what A-level. So, for example, maths requires a 7 in maths to study, and for English they want a level 5. For economics, we want both 6 for maths and 6 for English. So that's the A-level route. We also have the T levels. That's in terms of 5 GCSEs again, but 9 to 4 in English and maths. Of course, depends on what field you're going to go into, what subjects. They'll marks for grade 5 or above in maths. In terms of BTECs, it's 4 GCSEs, grades 9 to 4, and grade 4, minimum grade 4 in maths and or English. So that's a requirement for that. In terms of level 2 BTECs, 2 GCSEs, grade 9 to 4, and then a requirement of minimum of grade 3 in GCSE maths or English. And of course, if you do a level 2, you'll have to go do a level 3, and then go into a university or apprenticeship program to go into a accountancy or financial pathway. So these are some of the requirements that you'd required to go into that field. Next slide. Okay, so in terms of what kind of degrees you could do and to get into like chartered or certified accountants, well, basically they're both similar in terms of role. So you're looking at financial accounting, tax returns for business and so forth. So in terms of A-level, you've got 4 choices there in terms of what you could study at A-level or BTEC for that matter. I mean, BTEC functional qualification. So let's look at option 1. It could do maths A-level, economics A-level, and business studies A-level, and go into a accounting degree or accounting, perhaps apprenticeship program. Or if it's a vocational route, it could do a business related course or a math related course to go into that field. If you look at option 4, you've got that's more heavy maths with a bit of sciences there, taking you to a math degree. and of course go into accounting or financial services career path. So you've got a range of options that can take you to accountancy or financial services route. If you go to the next slide. Okay, so that's another route in terms of going to finance and investment analyst. So here again, so of course, it's also about number crunching. Got to be confident with the numbers. So again, if you look at route 2 here, you could study A-level maths, economics and business studies, and go into a financial degree or vocational, do a business vocational or maths course to get into a finance degree. Or if you take option 3 here, business studies, economics, psychology, as one combination to go into a business degree, and that can take you into a financial services accountancy pathway. Or if it's a vocational, you've got business or business management course you can do to go into to a degree in business studies, and again to a financial services or accountancy sort of pathway. I think so. These are some of the combinations available to you. Yeah, but of course, at the end, it all depends on your interest, what you enjoy. I think that's quite important to do something that you enjoy, because that gives you the motivation and to get a good grade. Because then you do need the good grade to go into a good either university or apprenticeship and into a accountancy job or financial studies job at the end. Are there another slide on this?
Next
okay, so basically, so this is some of the entry requirements. These are some of the pathways available to you for you to pursue a career in accountancy or financial services. We're now going to move on to masterclass. My colleague and I'll contribute also in terms of looking at specific pathways to accountancy or financial services. Is that okay? So, Jamal, so to start.
Right. Thanks very much, Nessa, and good morning, everyone. The theme of this session will be my financial career. So in this area, we're going to cover the importance of the financial services industry, the job opportunities and roles available in the industry, the caliber of people the industry is looking for, and also the entry routes into the finance industry. Can I have the next slide, please? So this is a typical life cycle. It represents the stages people pass through from the time we are born and also till we pass away. It means that at each stage of the life cycle, we do have a requirement for a financial product. So if you take a young adult, for example, between the ages of 18 and 25, if you are 18 or 19 and you just beginning to go to the university, you'll have a financial product. What financial product do you require? You think about tuition fee loan. That is a borrowing product. You think about protection product like insurance, which will protect your property, your gadgets, your electronic equipment, laptops, mobile phones, computers. And so at each stage, even when at the time you are dying, you have a requirement for a financial product, life assurance. Because if you don't do that, your beneficiaries, your dependents are going to suffer later on when you are gone. The next slide, please. Yeah, so this makes it very important that we all get interested in financial services. Here, institutions are providing us with means to manage our money. They have safe places where we can keep our money. And then they also help us with the provision of protection products, life insurance, life assurance, anything that will take care of our health as well. They also go on to provide credit cards, other loans, mortgages, and so on. Above all, they are helping the government in international trade. They lend money to the government when the government is in financial difficulty. And so we see the importance of the industry. The next bit, please. And so we have to talk about the job opportunities available in the industry. And what are these? Next slide, please. We realize that in this industry, there are so many job opportunities. In fact, the financial service industry provides job opportunities for about 1.4 million people in this country. And out of this 1.4 million people, more than 40% are female. So it is a very good source of employment. Now, which areas are available in the industry? Retail banking, where you're talking about the banks on the high street, Barclays Bank, HSBC, Lloyds Bank, and so on and so forth. And so there, they provide savings account, loans, and many other things. And then when you talk about wholesale banking, you are talking about financing very big companies. So you are providing loans, capital, and also advisory services. And then you go on to corporate banking. So there are many, many opportunities which are available to people who want to work in the industry. The next slide, please. And so when you are offered a position in the financial service industry, whether it is retail banking, insurance, wholesale banking, there are specific activities which you need to perform, specific roles. And so on the retail banking, you're going to deal with the provision of current accounts, savings accounts, credit cards, loans, mortgages. All of us will require mortgages at some point. In fact, not all of us, most of us, especially when you start working at the age of 25, when you have just graduated from the university. There is a need for you to think about acquiring a mortgage. And so in this case, you go to retail banking. And then insurance, like I said earlier, you have the need for protection products. And protection products talk about life insurance, life assurance, pensions, and other investment products. So all these areas have activities which are employees have to try and carry out. And don't forget that the industry also provides extensive loans to help businesses finance and expand. And when businesses expand, they are able to employ more people. And this comes under commercial banking. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is a slide which contains extra opportunities, extra jobs available in the industry. Yes, next slide, please. Right, so you see the all these companies. When you have been able to acquire a professional qualification in finance, financial services, accounting, you can apply to any of these you see in the high street. Lloyds Banking Group is very familiar, HSBC, Deutsche Bank coming from Germany. You have Citibank coming from America, and many others. Next slide, please. Now, how do we try to embed ourselves in the financial services industry? Many students, many young people think, oh, it is a requirement that you have to have maths background before you can work in the industry. That is not true. Many of the jobs in the finance industry can be done. They don't contain any maths at all. But then there are very few places, very few fields where maths will be required. For example, if you want to work in the investment banking area, risk analysis, you need to have maths background. But generally speaking, about 70% of the jobs available in the industry do not require maths at all. Next slide, please. Hang on, not yet, the previous slide. Okay, so what employers are looking for in the industry are three things. The applicant must be a creative thinker, a problem solver, and also a good communicator. Once you have these soft skills, you are very, very likely to get a job in the industry, even when you don't have very good maths background. Next slide, please. And so the next question is, how do we get a job in the industry? There are three general routes. The first route, if you are 16, you can go through the apprenticeship route, where you learn and earn and gain a qualification through the employer. So in this case, you don't have to go to the university, you don't have to go to the SysForm or any vocational program. You go straight into the industry if you are lucky to have opportunity for a job. And so they train you at the same time you are earning, and but at the end of your program, you'll be given a qualification as well. That is one route. Route two, if you are 18 and you have your A levels, you can still go through the apprenticeship route, but will be at a higher level with a higher package, and you get qualified at the end. And then the final route we have here, you may decide to go to the for the university route through the university. Here in the university, you'll be learning at a higher level, which could gain you a higher salary when you start. So there are various routes by which you are able to enter the industry. And so, yeah, whether you have good maths background or not, but that is not to say you shouldn't try to get your maths at GCSE. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'll hand you over to Nessa.
Okay.
Thank you, Jamal. Just to add on to this, I mean, in terms of graduates with degrees, one thing, money does motivate me a bit. I used to be more, by now it's a bit less. But in terms of, and of course, career options, you're looking at also like salaries. I mean, some of these figures on the sort of high end, but I mean, if you're sort of graduate, so average salary in the UK is around about 27k. In terms of if you got economics, if you want to go to as an economics degree and into that field, you're looking at 41k salary. Accounting, 42k. So, and finance, 40k. So there is, in terms of financial remunerations, quite high for accountancy as well as financial services. If you become like a proper chartered accountant, you're looking at, look at 80k, 100k salary. That's, of course, you've got to have, one thing mentioned for accounting is you can also get private qualification. So you got a degree, you can get ACCA, which gives you a chartered accountancy qualification where you could, go for a higher salary. So in terms of money-wise, you can earn a lot of money. Okay. Are there any more slides on that?
No, that's fine. Thank you, Nessa, and thank you, Jamal, for presenting such a wonderful slides for this webinar today. We have questions and some time, so I thought it's good to have some live questions which will help our students, all participants, they can they might have these questions in their mind. So our first question is, second. Okay, how many lessons being taught during this lockdown? How the lessons are being taught in the pandemic, as we are in the middle of it right now and in the lockdown? So how new big teachers are teaching right now? So Andy, who can jump in and answer this question, share your experience, please.
Well, I mean, in terms of the lessons, we are doing our full lesson timetable. So every teacher is following their timetable. So they're having the lessons prepared in terms of activities, in terms of the content delivery, in terms of students doing the activities and uploading the work. So basically, in a way, full lessons are taking place online virtually. So, of course, you might not have the physical interaction in the classroom, but via the Google Meet, all lessons are taking place as full as possible. From what I can understand from every teacher, others can contribute from there. Anyone want to say anything? How your lessons are going? So far, I mean, I've not really had. I mean, it's been good. It's been good experience, new experience for myself and the students. We're getting used to it. I think we've got used to it now. In fact, I think we might miss it if we go back to classrooms. Maybe. Anyone else?
Hey, can I just come in? Yeah, just going to come in to say that the lessons online are quite interactive. And in terms of when Nessa mentioned, the one thing you might miss is communicating with your friends. One of the ways we've overcome that is to use breakout rooms. So we have breakout rooms on Google Meets, and you can still work in groups and get a chance to communicate with your friends and to still do team working, which kind of brings the classroom atmosphere back, but just virtually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
anyone else?
As Nessa said that we are following our full timetable. So it means it is very important to attend your lesson at time and on the exact time of your lesson start. And also your attendance is important. So punctuality and attendance we measure. So please attend your lessons on time. So are there any trips involved in these courses, the courses you discussed today? Are there any, I know this is pandemic, so we are not having any trips in the right now, but in general and normal situations, do we have any trips available for students? Study trips?
Yes, in the case of financial studies, we have a lot of trips. We go to the Bank of England. We visit the Institute for Financial Services, which is the mouthpiece of the bankers in the United Kingdom. We also visit Barclays and other retail banks, JP Morgan, investment bank included. So yeah, there are many, many visits, but the pandemic is not allowing us to do any of them.
So,
in terms of economics, we do go to, we've not had a recent trip, so to speak, but we do go to conferences related to the subject to gain more skills in terms of exam skills from a range of different teachers and so forth. So we do have some conferences arranged for economics. But of course, at the moment, everything's limited. Yeah, so everything's online. Just go onto YouTube and check the information out from there. Any other questions?
Okay.
Shall I go in and answer some of those questions that are coming up?
Of course.
Okay, I think, with maths, yes, A-level maths can give you a bigger run into the Russell Group universities. If you want to do economic at a Russell Group university, you're more likely than not to required to do A-level maths or A-level statistics. If you want to go into accounting, they do like to see the A-level maths. Again, for degree apprenticeships, which is new and which is coming up quite strongly, you do have an advantage with maths. Jamal is right, you don't need maths for everything, but the A-level maths is often a huge advantage, or we are now seeing that the A-level statistics is becoming a huge advantage. And for example, on the BTEC level, Francilia and I have been looking into core maths, which is a level 3 maths, which is very much a modern maths and has a huge financial component in it, to add this on to a number of courses, because it gives you that different maths. And I think that's what Jamal was saying early on. It is not necessarily the traditional maths that you encounter in these jobs, But problem solving is a type of maths, isn't it? But it's not the traditional maths we're talking about. Does that make some sense? We have students going for economics at Russell Group universities and at Oxbridge. I think this year we've got 3, am I right?
Yeah, we did get few going, yes. Yeah.
Yes, we have 3 who have an offer in that direction. So yes, we have a whole program. You can come on later into the honours program session where we talk a bit more about it, but we are trying to get as many students that way as possible. We have a fantastic school in London, the SOAS, a university that has a very open-minded look at economics, very different to LSE. Lots of our students go there with maths or statistics and economics and English or physics. The funny thing is, in that direction, you quite often need physics, again, because it has those problem-solving skills. So, yeah, I hope that answered the question in terms of Oxbridge entries.
Thank you, Nicole. And there's another question. How many coursework, is there any coursework need to be completed during, I think this is for more BTEC, a part of the courses.
Okay, I'll take that one. We are now doing the RQF, which is the new BTECs, which requires you to do both coursework and exams. So there's 2 exams, in the first year, there's 2 examinable units, and there's 4 units where you've got to do coursework. And in the second year, you have 2 more examinable units, and this time 5 pieces of coursework. So it gives that balance, that combination. So anybody who's probably not very good at exams, you can probably compensate for it with the coursework, but it gives you the balance. And the coursework is very interesting because you actually have to apply the knowledge that you are gaining to practical situations.
Yeah.
Thank you, Francilia. And there is one question about academic sport. Is there any academic sport available at UVic? In terms of one-to-one sport or tutoring?
Okay, I'll just try and answer that one because we don't have, I am not sure about the sports, but I know we have a very strong sports academy. And within the sports academy, there's lots of opportunity to play a range of sports. Because I know at the moment we have a very strong basketball team. We're very good at cricket. And at the moment, we have some very good budding athletes. And that's as a result of the sports academy. So I would say look up the sports academy on our website and you'll probably see a bit more about what the sports academy does.
Francilia, I think this one is about academic sport in terms of if they are studying A-level maths, will there be any extra sport available for them? Any
support,
classes?
Not
yeah, so it's not sport, it's sport.
Oh, it's support. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant sport. Sorry. Yeah. So academic support within, there will be some kind of support system in place. And I mean, one of the things UVic prides itself on is the amount of support we offer our students. So if there is a need for support, the one thing is whoever is the leader of your teachers will recognize the need. And we have a whole department that offers support, but even within the team itself, there will be some kind of support available.
Yeah, I mean, we do have, revision classes. So some of the subjects do hold revision classes that's outside of the lesson timetable. So that might be in a lunchtime session on a certain day, depending. And of course, that's basically just to review the content as well as exam skills, preparing for exams, organizing the folder, study skills technique. That's what we do cover.
Okay, so we're at the end of this session now. Thank you very much to attending this session. And I hope this session has helped you to understand some of the courses. And now our applications are open, so you can apply now on, go to our website, which is newvic.ac.uk, apply section, and you can apply online. So after If you have any questions or anything you need to know more further about, you can also email to advice@newvic.ac.uk. And they will be, as they're running so many sessions today. So if you have missed anything, please check our website for further information, and you can watch some other videos related to different sessions. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.